All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful Friday night, and Andy's not having a good time. No, he isn't, not one bit. Um, so there's been a lot of updates, been kind of slipping on the Andy coverage, and there's been a lot to handle. And I mean, like there's just like sagas and ups and downs of this stuff, like gunfights, gay lovers, more scams, of course, more admissions of guilt. I'm not going to be able to cover everything. But I'll try to get as much done as I can tonight. This stream's gonna be a little bit on the longer side because there's lot of a lot of spurging out on 80's part, like for days and days and days. Yep, autism levels of stuff in this clown world. That's what Jen Silverstein says in chat. And all right, so let's get a little bit of an update from Andy just today. See, when Andy wants to like get real and talk with his audience, he likes to do a video on Twitter and upload it. And I'm just going to show you the image first, and then I'll play it, because why does Andy have purple hair? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have already been following this, so this is just me, like, going over stuff for most of you guys. But for those of you who don't regularly follow Andy and don't know what's going on, like, Andy never had this much of a faggy haircut. He always had this stupid expression on his face, like he does now. But, like, yeah. So apparently, like, so let's just play this, and then I'll give you in with the rest of the context, because you'll see soon enough.
What's up, everyone? I went on COG's stream and I went there to discuss with COG, who I have agreement, me and him had grievances with each other, to bury the hatchet and move on. And while they did criticize me on many things that I will take into consideration because I believe that they are right, it was very hard to stay in that stream 3 verse 1 and getting interrupted, and I couldn't effectively communicate how I feel and what I need to do without getting jumped on. I I appreciate him giving me the chance to express myself, but I am going to be working on myself, and I'll let you all know where I'm at mentally after I go see a psychiatrist and what I'm doing to to better myself. I love you all, and we'll see you all later. Peace.
Now, here's the thing that really bothers me about this apology, about this kind smile, this kind of self-deprecating, humiliating sort of thing. Andy isn't sorry in this apology for having done wrong. No, he's not. Not one bit. He doesn't regret the actions that he's done, the stupid stuff that he's been doing, some of which I've already covered, some of which we'll get into as this progresses. He admits this when he says that I'm going to have to do what I need to do in order to not get jumped on. Not, I'm going to need to do what I need to do because it's the right thing. Not, oh, shit, I've been an idiot. I've been fucking up left and right. I've been a dick to my audience. I've been Big Dworsky for the past 3, 4, 6, how many months has it been? I would say ever since after Nashville was when Andy really started to go. That's when Andy's ego reached went from, maybe it was a 50 before, now it's 100. And it's been that way ever since after Nashville, when he beat up a guy who didn't even bother to show up. Yay! Yeah. Glad everyone congratulated him on that. And here's the thing, Andy, in case you're listening to this, the only reason people congratulate, like, the majority of people, there's only 2 reasons why people congratulate you for beating Tonka. One, Tonka is just an insufferable cunt. Nobody likes him. He's an idiot. He's a stupid, stupid man. And quite frankly, he's probably a meth addict as well. And the other reason being that they wanted to, as part of the joke, say that a retard, an absolute retard, someone who cannot rub 2 brain cells together in his head, does not even have 2 brain cells, beat him. And encouraging you on, by the way, is part of the 3rd reason why, actually. Yeah, I said 2, there's actually 3 reasons. Because here's the thing. I think people intentionally promote Andy because no matter what he does, he'll always look stupid in every single situation he puts himself in. And he's the butt of the joke, and he doesn't even realize it. He doesn't even realize that for all this, I'm making up for stuff, I'm going to self-deprecate, he is the autist that everyone wants to put out there to create a lolcow. That's what I think is going on with this guy. That's why I think he gets so much support. That's why this piece of shit keeps on gaining relevancy. It's because, yeah, they know he's a piece of shit. They know he's this disgusting retard. But instead of doing anything to actually help him or make him improve, or actually giving him the riot act, not just like, saying some harsh words for the lulz, is because they like fucking with him and seeing him getting promoted on this basis. And I'm going to look into some of that. Now, there is a bit of a backstory here that, honestly, if I did more shows, I would have covered it, but I'm just going to have to recap it. And again, most of you probably already know this anyway, so essentially, Ralph and Andy decided to do a trip to Florida. And I did cover this part of it. They did the Indiegogo, which is still relevant, by the way, which I already covered. That was a stupid idea. That basically is more of similar to the Styx Hex and Hammer thing, except without the pity, where they use their audience as their own personal piggy bank to fund their own projects, instead of just using the money to promote promote the projects and then collect the money off of it. And they ripped off their constituents to the tune of about $4,000, which, to add insult to injury, or injury to injury, as the case, depending on your perspective on this, the whole thing was a scam. They never had any intent or plans to actually fulfill any of the promises they made. None of it got delivered. It all went to shit because these two guys couldn't get their heads together and produce a good show. Now, there was two ways that they decided to handle it. Ralph decided to just go fuck off, do his own thing, become more boring, basically, except when he's making himself the butt of the joke. That's the only thing people really tune in to Ralph these days, just to watch him spurg out. Or maybe by now he's probably cultivated a new audience because his old one regards him as the shit stain he is. And Andy decided to, I'm going to keep on doing the in-real life streaming bit. I'm going to try to salvage the whole fundraising thing, even though that's not possible since it was the Andy and Ralph show, not the Andy and Failure and Alex show. Now, Alex is Andy's new best friend. As far as I'm concerned, he's a piece of shit too. But what kind of dumb, retarded depths will these people go to exactly? Well, let's take a look. All right. You probably already heard about this from Ediker. He covered this in full. I highly recommend watching his stream. It was very entertaining when he did it. Which is more than I can say for anything Andy's done for the past. I can't even remember the last time I actually found Andy legitimately entertaining. So let's just recap this night, where essentially, you know what? I'll just play it and then I'll explain what's going on if you don't gather it yourselves.
Fucking piece of shit. Let's fucking go. Kick this guy's fucking ass. Let's go. You're lucky you're not fucking on the ground bleeding, you faggot. No, don't say that. All right. Everyone want to fucking get shot? Oh, nice backs. It's gonna work with a fucking bullet in them. You fucking faggot. Stay back. Stay back. Go. Aim. 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 Stay back, guys. Go, Alex. Stay back, stay back, stay back. I've got a fucking gun, motherfucker. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay the fuck back. Stay back. Stay the fuck back. Walk away now. Stay back. Stay back. Get the fuck back. Get the fuck back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get the fuck back. He was assaulted. Get the fuck back. We hate Nicholas. Get the fuck back. Aim, 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 aim. Calling the cops now. Aim. We hate Stay the fuck back. Stay back.
From what I see here, it's a bunch of guys who are worried they might get in a fight, and then he pulled a gun on somebody.
They were.
I know, but you'll pull a gun on somebody because they want to fight you.
No, sir.
They
sir.
don't have any weapons.
Sir. Yes, sir. Can I just explain the story from my point of view? If that's fine.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, cool. So basically, yeah, ready? de-escalated the confrontation down the street. And they followed us with the dude in the white shirt followed us with those two new guys in the yellow shirts. And they were coming up towards us. They ended up heading towards him, punching him in the back of the head, and then walking towards Alex and I. So we warned them, stay back, stay back, stay back. They wouldn't stay back. So Alex, he pulled out his gun, and then they stopped. Then we phoned the police, and this is the situation we're in right now. But they were walking toward us while we were asking them to stand back.
There was two guys on this.
And there's three of you.
Already previously just
Yeah, but but they had separated him.
You ever put the camera down and think to help out your body, or
I
call
did.
police?
I did. When that happened, when I saw the swing, I went up to him.
And then your buddy pulled out a gun and pointed at everybody.
He
It's
was,
on here. It's on video.
and they're running towards us. So what do we do?
You're not gonna understand.
And do we just allow them to attack us? I'm not sure how we defend ourselves. We told them to stay back, or we have to defend ourselves.
Looks like you guys are the instigators afterwards.
Not at all.
The guy committed a property crime. He smacked the phone.
And then we walked away, and then they followed us,
No, you start getting in his face afterwards. You called him a faggot.
so they could walk up to us and attack us. Then, yes,
He didn't put a hand on you.
him,
You guys were
him,
like this.
him.
You guys didn't
Whatever.
His face is cursing
Okay,
at each other.
all right.
You're just bad as
I don't need to. I don't need to
You don't
speak
need to
about
do
it.
that.
I don't want to speak anymore.
And then
I don't need to speak anymore. Thank you. I don't want. I'm not in the mood.
your buddy's going to jail. For felony. You guys are idiots. You really are. You never called the cops. You walked the same direction.
We were going towards our car, sir.
Why didn't you call the cops? You're that concerned about getting people to jail. Your car gets smashed in the hand. You didn't call the cops. Seriously? It's starting to click now. You guys are in the wrong. I'm not saying what you did isn't wrong, but you guys are wrong. You're instigating. Now you're back over there with them talking shit.
He walked back to us.
All right, so I think you can get a basic recap of what happened that night. Essentially, Andy, Failure, and Alex, again, Andy's new best friend Alex, they were out in the streets getting drunk, doing their in real life streaming thing, which is basically just retards walking around and playing super chats, which included racial epithets, which certainly wouldn't lead to a confrontation. Of course it did. They go up, they find some people who mess with them for a bit. They knock their phone out of their hands. They get upset over that. They start yelling at them. They start challenging them to a fight. There is an attempt by the guys who knocked the phone out of their hands to essentially de-escalate the situation, and things seem to be okay at first because they went their separate ways. But then they met up later. Alex is like, "Hey, let's get the fuck out of here." And then Andy and Failure are like, No. We can totally take them. And these guys are big dudes. They're muscly, and they're able to, I imagine they would actually beat them up. Even one of them would probably beat the three of them up in a fight. So what they decide to do is go for just shout, "Hey, we're going to stand our ground. We're going to resist. Get away from us. This is self-defense. Don't attack us or we'll shoot." And they have Alex pull a gun, which, as you can tell, did not end well. It ended with Alex being arrested by the cops there, and this has put Andy and Failure into a lot of trouble. Mainly because they essentially tried to commit murder and get away with it. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that a great thing that Andy boy did there? And friends. Yeah. People could have died. And that's just fun and games. And, Andy's just, it's okay though. Andy's on a redemption arc. See? This is just a downward spiral. We just got to see him go down a little bit more. This got to rise up again because everyone loves those redemption arcs. Because the thing about redemption is that once you do something bad, all you got to do is say sorry, and then everything goes away. That's how that works, right? For any of you who actually live in the real world, you know that's not how it works. And yeah, it gets worse from here because, maybe they're just drunk idiots. Maybe who doesn't get into a drunk confrontation with guns and street violence like this? And wait, most of you haven't? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that's just there's only 5 people watching this stream, so that we're probably just the oddballs in that equation here. So how could things get worse? Well, at least Andy is treating his audience with respect. He's probably come out and said, yeah, what we did was pretty stupid. No, none of that happened. Instead, when someone asks, let's see what happens when someone asks a question about it. Just to give you an example of the kind of, clarification Andy's giving to whatever scandal he happens to be in. Because frankly, this could just easily apply. If we go over Andy's old scandals, this could apply as well. But let's talk about what's current.
Yeah, Uwe. Let's bring Uwe in.
Hello, Uwe.
Cthulhu, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Look, I don't have any real issues with you whatsoever, but I do have a few questions for Andy, if you don't mind. Is that possible?
If
I've never.
legal stuff, you're bringing up immediately. So don't
Do what? What can I not do?
do not ask anything about the legal issue.
Well, you can ask, but
Well, I could ask something that had a lot to do with you. Like, why didn't you pay Alex to have him bailed out? I heard that his mother had to pay for that.
Okay, remove him.
Remove me already?
Remove him right now, dude.
Already.
Remove him
The
right
bail
now.
thing. The bail thing's not really about.
And you don't know who paid for it. You think it was her? You think
You
it was
didn't
only
say
her?
that you paid
Fuck
for
outta
it.
here. Get
You didn't say you paid for it.
out. You don't know the
Go
story.
fuck yourself.
You don't know the story. Eat shit, you faggot.
Well, here's the thing, ladies
Ban
and
him from the
gentlemen.
Discord. Ban him. Yeah, fucking do it. Ban him. No, I'm serious. Ban him from the fucking Discord. He's fucking gone.
All right, bye,
Fucking
Uwe.
Uwe.
Sorry.
Bye,
I
First
used to
of
be
all,
I
no
used to
one-
be a
no
man
one
of the
knows-
people.
Hang on. No one knows who paid for the bail. You'll find out soon enough, you fucks.
Like you could talk about that. That's not anything to do with the case. Like
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Well,
matter though.
here's
I don't
the
want to
thing.
talk about. No, I was asked not to say anything about anything yet, and I'm respecting those wishes from Alex.
okay, well, I mean,
Now-
if Alex doesn't want you to talk about the bail shit, then that's fine.
He doesn't want to say anything about that.
Okay, all right.
And if people have to know, I did put into bail. I did pay for it, some of it. Okay, a very
Here's the
Okay, so basically, Andy tries to go ahead and explain himself as usual. I'm not going to play the full thing because I think you get the gist of it. Andy decides to straight up kick somebody because they were talking about an issue that was a public display. It was relevant. And he said, oh, it's for legal reasons. No, that's bullshit. And Andy even says, I don't care. It's about the bail. He's asking about things I don't care about. Andy's a liar. Like, he lies regularly and uses his retardation to mask when he lies. And this is another example of it. This has nothing to do with the case. The bail does not have to do with the case proper. The bail is a separate thing. Andy paying bail or not paying bail or who's paying for it, anyone can answer that. There's no, reason Andy can't discuss it. And frankly, if people are bringing it up in front of his face, there's no legal obligation for them not to do that. Andy can simply say no comment, or I can't talk about this for legal reasons, or something similar to that. And that's assuming that's even true, which I kind of doubt at this point, because they already filmed the damn thing publicly, and they're already making sure to milk this drama for as much cash as they can. Like, I don't believe him when he says things like, oh, yeah, I can't talk about it for legal reasons. No, Andy, you can't talk about this because it's embarrassing for you. And you can't stand talking about yourself because you know you're shit. That's what's really going on here. And even when, and you can't handle it well. You can't. And honestly, we'll get into the reasons why you can't, because because I could say that it's just totally malicious, but as Just Another says in chat, what I was wondering, remember when Chung said Andy was a schizo? Shit, maybe he really is, especially after he talked about his headmates. Andy's tism has no bounds. I don't know if Andy's a schizophrenic. I don't think he shows enough signs for that, but he's off his rocker. I do believe he's not fully mentally there. I think he is legitimately... I don't even think it's even hyperbole at this point to call him a retard. I think he is legitimately in need of mental health treatment, which we'll get to that. All right. So, at this point, Andy's kicked Isu, or whatever his name is, from the Discord. And then Andy realized Andy gets a lot of shit for this. He gets a lot of flack for it, and this leads to Andy being forced to do a live stream with the guy he banned, who's because this is the kind of because what tends to happen is the people who watch these people who are just awful, they're really terrible, terrible people, these YouTubers in this social political commentary sphere, and I don't know why. Like there's probably lots of reasons why, but for some reason, anyone who touches this seems to be terrible, just absolutely the worst. And he decides to do a stream with Andy because, let's reconcile. Let's bury the hatchet. I know you treat me like garbage on your stream, but let's try to smooth things over. Which, why are you doing this to yourself? Well, if you ask me, I think the guy. Well, let's just go over the stream, and I'll try to get to the good bits. I'll probably go ahead a little bit and stuff like that because there's a lot of technical issues in this. So I'm gonna play this from the beginning, or actually, you know what? Just skip about the first 30 seconds, and then we'll play from there.
He always took your side, so I mean, it seemed like he was against you, I guess. Camps. I mean, I think you think Cog is against you. I think in the long run, Cog was always for you, and he always took your side. So I mean, it seemed like he was against you, I guess. But I feel like you're just not really good at taking criticism, and I have an understanding why you might not be good at
it's not. I'm not good at taking criticism. It's when it's 5 hours every single day. It gets a little like, we get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get you. I get you.
So. And and I've been, me and Alex, Failure, and also me and Geek now, we've been so busy with our, with the other things. And I'm also working on one other project in the background. That's taking a lot of time that I don't have time. So all I'm hearing, is the little clips here and there of all shit talk. Yeah. I don't have time to listen to fucking 5 hours straight in a row. I don't have time, and I haven't had time really to sit down with someone and chat, right? And chat with them. But I'm taking a couple of days off to relax because it's been like live show, working on my.
Okay, I just this. I don't know if I can get through this whole stream. I really don't. I saw most of it when it was up live, but it's just Andy is just Andy's trying to cover himself. He is clearly doing the whole gambit of, I was in a dark place. I was not feeling well. I was sad. I needed to kick him from there because I couldn't take it. I needed to go ahead and do all this dumb shit because I was just not feeling so great. I needed to attack my own audience multiple times. He did it when JF's. He did it when he heard criticism about JF attacking him. He did it when. He did it when. His fling with Pinecone was revealed and made a thing, etc. And now he's doing it again once people were asking him about the whole Miami trip with the whole GoFundMe scam, the street fight he decided to pick have a fight with, his inability to raise bail for his friend, and having to get someone else to do it. His when he decided to go, etc. The guy can't take criticism and doesn't know how to handle it well, so he defaults on, "I'm a retard. I can't help myself. There's nothing I can do about these problems. There's absolutely no way for me to resolve this." And it's just going to keep on coming. It's just going to be a repeated theme for him.
My background project and then doing IRL, watch, rinse, repeat, doing that every single day. And I haven't really sat down or I have a day for myself. So I was just binge watching TV all day and shit. And
yeah, that's right. Being a YouTuber, it's so hard making videos. Going out there, streaming, putting a camera in my face, saying dumb shit in front of a camera, walking the streets of Miami in the middle of the night, getting drunk, singing stupid, retarded, dumb shit, making out with 40-year-old women. Oh, such a hard life. No qualities of standards even. I sometimes just gotta sit down and just binge watching some Netflix, watch some of those old Star Trek series. Only way I can recuperate from such taxing hard labor of a 16-hour job. It's just frustrating.
I'm in the storage room. So there's all these boxes behind me. By the
That's
way,
fine. That's fine. I see it. It's messy. It's
how you
messy.
been?
Also, why is I don't know about this part. Why is Andy in a storage room? Also, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like that's there has to be like a violation of a contract or something along those lines. Point being that he probably isn't allowed to live like a hobo in a storage unit. Why can't he either get an apartment, stay at a friend's place, or rent an Airbnb? This is really weird. Maybe it's his home? Um, it might be. Like, he doesn't seem like another theme about this seems to be that Andy doesn't have money anymore. And we'll get to that.
I've been all right, man. I've been all right, man. Just busy. I'm a busy man. I work and I do YouTube for fun. But I'm all right, dude. I'm all right. It's just the life. It's just the life how it is. But yeah, man. So let me ask you a question, dude. Now I don't hate you. You know I don't hate you, and I think you should know that Cog doesn't hate you. And and a lot of people. I know you're getting shit right now. People give you crap, but I mean, people don't hate you, right?
All right, this is the easiest thing you could possibly say to anyone. Most people don't actually hate each other. This is not something that normal people ordinarily do. As much as I don't like Lorski and I think that he's retarded, I don't hate the guy. I don't want him to literally step through traffic or jump off a bridge or anything like that. I don't wish the guy harm. Like, this is retarded. Nobody thinks that. Nobody goes ahead and says, yeah, you know what? I hate Worski. This guy's clearly buttering him up, and it's just dishonest. It really is.
Right. I mean,
I don't think yeah.
A lot of people want to see you do good, right? We're not going to talk about the whole legal matters because you don't want to talk about it. We won't go doon that road.
I can't talk about it.
That's fine. Even if you wanted to, you can't, right? We'll go with it.
I really wish I could, but I'm not allowed to.
That's fine.
But
that's right.
Don't worry, we'll let you all know. I promise you, you'll all know ASAP when we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's real convenient. A ambiguous reason you can't possibly go ahead and talk about your legal matters, and you're going to announce everyone when you can talk about it and give details of it. It's almost like there's like a bit of a shield you're putting around yourself because you just can't take the heat because you done goofed.
Okay, well, me personally, I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. I've said from the get-go, what I always wanted to see you do good from the get-go. And here's the thing. It isn't because of your YouTube channel and all that. It's because I've always related to you, right? In a lot of ways, I see a lot of myself in you in some kind of way. Like, we're kind of similar in both ways. A lot of people think we're kind of dumb. People make fun of our stutter. People think we're not high IQ. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So, I mean, I think you're a smart guy. I think I'm a fucking pretty intelligent guy. I like.
It's like we're like we sound like just because of the stutter or saying stupid jokes. You sort of have that baseline, like from people observing you, the baseline dummy. But dumb people don't know that they're dumb. But when I say something or you say something that is stupid to make someone laugh, that's not stupidity. That's like its own form of intelligence. That's like, yeah. I know.
All right, I'm going to rewind that bit because that deserves to be clipped.
It's like we're like we sound like just because of the stutter or saying stupid jokes. You sort of have that baseline, like from people observing you, the baseline dummy. But dumb people don't know that they're dumb. But when I say something or you say something that is stupid to make someone laugh, that's not stupidity. That's like its own form of intelligence. That's like, yeah. I know I'm tricking because of the stutter or saying stupid jokes. You sort of have that know that they're dumb. But when I baseline, like from people observing you, the baseline dummy. But dumb people don't know that they're dumb.
Gee, Andy, that's a really curious statement there. Really big brain comment. Really cracking down, analyzing comedy at a very basic level. I mean, like dumb people don't know they're dumb. Yeah, I mean, like if you were a dumb person, you wouldn't know about it. But that can't be the case. It's all for laughs. It's all a comedy show. You're a really smart dude, Andy. You really are. You went ahead. You scanned people out. You've ruined multiple shows that you started. You were manipulated by a French man who's into fucking retards. You went ahead. You nearly lost to Tonkasaw and only won against him because he didn't show up. You got fucked over by Geek Thulu, by Ian Miles Chung, by who else was there? Ralph, Coach Red Pill, etc. Like, Zoom's out to get you. You don't even realize it, but he's just using you to go ahead and gain advantage for himself. But no, you're the smart one in the equation, Andy. You're a real super genius who's playing 4D chess. See, if Andy was really dumb, he wouldn't be able to say things like this.
But when I say something or you say something that you know is stupid to make someone laugh, that's not stupidity. That's like its own form of intelligence.
Yeah, you see, guys? You see, right there. That is pretending to be retarded. It's such a brilliant maneuver there. Like, the whole thing with the cops, he was just LARPing, guys. Don't you get it? That wasn't him being a dumbass. That was him really having a cerebral, like seriously, Andy, do you think that people are going to buy this? I mean, I my gosh, this guy is just Canadians.
That's like, yeah. I know I'm trolling this person into thinking I just said something really dumb, but it's to make them laugh. You know what I mean? And that's also part of charisma and art. I mean, look at like if you look at you've seen, I don't know if you've probably seen some of the IRL stuff we've done. There's been times where I'll say the most ridiculous shit and then get a girl's phone number directly after it. Like, if I was that dumb or retarded, wouldn't the girl be like, no?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because as we all know, if you want to get to a woman's heart, you got to appeal to her through some form of academia. Because girls are really into nerdy guys who are into big-brained, intelligent stuff. So, Andy, you slaying them, that proves your intelligence and worth. Yeah.
Charm, man. You got charm. But this is my thing, dude. So, look, here's the thing. And I've always said this, and I've always believed in this. And I know I'll apologize to Geek and whoever I was harsh at. I was just pissed off because I was called pretending. Look, it's not pretending. Look, I come from a mindset where you have to be criticized. And the reason why I appreciate Cog and I appreciate the guys I do the show with is because they criticize me. They call me out on my bullshit, and I take it, and I go with the flow with it. Without criticism, we as men, we can't better ourselves. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so remember what I alluded to? I don't like this guy before earlier, or rather, I outright stated that. Yeah, this is why. This guy is the biggest loser and chump that I've come across. Like, okay, not the biggest, to be honest. I mean, he would be if I wasn't familiar with any of his internet shit. But this guy is such a chump. Andy, a geek. Like, Andy trashed him when he was there on the show. And now he's apologizing to someone like Geek Thulu. Like, no one should ever apologize to Geek Thulu under any circumstances whatsoever. Geek Thulu is an idiot. Geek Thulu also, I mean, that is a loser. The guy, does not know what he does. He tried, he's right now on a crusade against Cog because Cog's killing them in the ratings, and he can't even do that right, and all it's done is lower the people's wanting to watch their show. In fact, what I think is going to end up happening with these chuckleheads is people are just going to watch people stream snipe them, and they're not even going to bother watching the main show. It'll be like DSP. And this guy here, this guy was kicked off the show, the guy that everyone got pissed off about, he's like, oh, I'm going to make peace with Andy. I'm going to make peace with Geek Thulu. I really like these guys. I bet this guy is a pay pig. I bet he supports them all on Patreon. I bet he gives them lots of super chats. In fact, I wonder if we can prove that. We'll probably look into that later. But in the meantime, yeah, it does not matter. Even if he doesn't give them 1 cent, he has no self-respect. And instead of actually saying, no, I'm done with you, I'm done with your stupid show, it's gone to shit. You treat me like garbage on your garbage when I'm in there, and then you ban me from your Discord. No, fuck you. That's what he should say. He shouldn't be giving him a second chance. He should be kicking him while he's down, because once Andy gets back up, he'll just use him again as another stepping stone to boost his career, like he's pretty much done to everyone he's come in contact with. Like, no wonder people decide to go ahead and betray him. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not condoning their actions. Don't get me wrong. But the fact of the matter is, Andy is not someone who has good character to begin with. So why would people have a preference or desire to be loyal to him?
And I know you're a man.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to lecture you. I swear I'm not. But I feel like no one is ever sitting down with you and talk about this stuff. Or if they did, it's all been private. Right?
Yeah, no, we've been, yeah, you know what? Again, the criticism,
it gets
with the cog thing, I guess, now I can't speak for Geek on this because he's his own man, obviously, and me and him are very different. And I really like him, but I think he's just annoyed. It's like, there's this thing where, and this is sort of how I see him, how he perceives Cog criticizing him. It's not like, it doesn't feel to him or to me, and maybe we're wrong about how we're perceiving his intention, but it feels as if he's doing it to, instead of going, hey Andy, I think that you kind of fucked up in this thing, do you want to talk about it? It's sort of like you wake up and then the title is Andy is a piece of human shit, and then you're just,
Andy, I'll say it right out. Andy, you are a piece of human shit. You're asking for kid glove treatment for yourself when you would gladly rip it to anyone else. Like seriously, is this where we're at now, where people get preferential treatment because they're just favors with people? Like, you did some really dumb, retarded shit, and Cog streams. Frankly, Cog is nice. Cog is a real softie when it comes to you and when it comes to other people. He's not this big, bad, evil dude you make him out to be. There's no question about his intentions. He wants to do a show to entertain people. That's what he does. He takes people's stupid shit and he laughs at them. Like, seriously, if you want to go after a villain, there's plenty of people you can go after on that for they're just destroying the reputation or whatever. But Cog is just I can't see Cog as, I mean, I can see him as a lot of things, but being this guy who's going to go ahead and ruin your career. No, Andy, you're shooting yourself in the foot, and people are just saying, "Hey, Andy, look at you. You have holes in your feet," and then you're mad that you're falling over them, or some dumb metaphor like that. Point is, no, there's no question about intent here, and besides, you and Geek decide and I love the fact that the angle that you and Geek went with was that Cog likes to share private DMs sometimes. Oh no, it's about ethics and DM sharing. I mean, it's not like I did a whole stream or two about how Geek Thule likes to do the same thing when it comes to very personal information. You know, kind of like when you had a panic attack and you ran to Geek for help, and then Geek threw you right under the bus for that. Yeah, you remember that, Andy? You have a short memory. That's another problem you have. You don't know how to trust people. By the way, Geek will shove the knife in your back once the moment suits him. I guarantee it. You can put money on that, and you're an idiot for following him.
It's all right, dude, I thought we were cool. If you want to criticize me, that's fine. And then when we go, oh, what the fuck? He's like, well, you're always invited on my show. You're always invited on my show, which is cool. But at least go, hey, at 2 p.m., I'm going to be talking about what a piece of shit you are. So you have an invite. It's just sort of I get you. It's sort of it feels disingenuous when you're not invited and you just see something really harsh with someone that you thought you were cool with.
Yeah.
With other people having to tell you, because it feels as if he's doing it for the views or whatever and this and that. I know there is.
Yeah. I can tell you. I can tell you. Give me a second or second. I can tell you first thing. Cock doesn't care about views. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Someone in the chat says still no stream rewind. That was Keith Richardson. Yeah, I fucked up. I said it was going to be stream rewind. I had forgotten to enable that. My mistake. The stream will be up once it's over as usual, but next stream I will definitely have stream rewind enabled for sure. All right, continue where I left off.
And I can tell you this.
Also, one other thing. I also want you to keep in mind the chat. Yes, I'm there saying things like, Andy, you are a piece of human shit, and things like, I hope Alex smells the shit off of you in failure and drops you both like the murderous cunts you are. Sure, that's pretty funny. But more importantly is everyone else here. They're here and they're not. They're mad. They're angry at Andy, and Andy has no self-awareness that he sincerely believes that he can win people over. He can win back the people he lost by doing this routine, which you know what? It makes perfect sense. The ego is actually getting to him. He can't stand the idea of people just not liking him. People just thinking that, you know what? I don't like you, Andy. I don't like your content. I used to be good, Andy. Used to make good stuff, but now you made it all about yourself. So I'm not going to watch it anymore. Stuff like that. And honestly, I think that Andy, in a certain light, can be seen as a sad case, because had he gone ahead and not done this shit, had he not let his ego get the better of him, had he actually put himself in a position where he would just make good content, it is possible. Well, you know what? No, I'm not even going to say that, because honestly, when it comes to Andy Worski, this is just the beginning. I'm not going to stop looking at the recent stuff he's done. In a later stream, I'm going to look at his past as well, because there's always this idea that Andy was a good guy at one point, but I think that's an assumption. Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not correct. Like, I've seen some stuff that shows that, I've seen evidence that shows one way and the other, but I can't really reach a full conclusion yet. However, I don't think that this guy who seemed to have popped out of nowhere, who suddenly got popular, like back in 2017, post the election, yeah, I think that he needs to be dug into, and I think that all the skeletons that he's has in his closet need to be shed to light, because Andy has done a lot of shit. A lot of stuff. Like here's an example, just right off the bat, and I'll definitely go over this one for sure. You guys remember Rage After Storm, right? Remember Crown T? Crown T got Rage After Storm bullied off the internet. Certain skeptifags want to dispute the specifics of that statement, but regardless, it's what he did, or at least tried to do, and everyone gave Crown T shit for that. Even Crown T himself gave himself shit for that. So there's no doubt about that there was a fuck up there. However, people like to leave out the other players, and one of those other players involved with that was Andy Worski himself. When after Storm did her Race is Real video, Andy Worski himself was the one who hosted the Let's Shit on Rage After Storm stream, where all the Skeptifags got together and condemned Rage After Storm for talking about such controversial topics as race. Now, I like that, Kraut gets all the blame for that, but Worski was right there. Worski was saying, yeah, fuck the racist bitch. She deserves it. All this other shit. Maybe not those exact words, but nonetheless, he promoted that. He pushed that. He helped with it. And then people want to go the next day, like a few months down the line, oh, Andy's now talking to, Andy suddenly starts appealing to the alt-right and white nationalists, etc. Especially through his newfound friend, his best friend he just met over the internet, Buddy JF. And they just kind of quietly forget it. Andy releases a quick apology video and on Twitter, and that's it. This guy has been getting a free pass for too long. And honestly, I think that this can be, and this is another case where, you know what? I kind of hate to say it, but, or maybe I don't, but honestly, Jim does deserve flack for, this is another case where Jim didn't do enough background research, and he just promoted a guy, thinking that he was the best thing ever, and pushed him in the forefront. Granted, I'll grant that it probably wasn't a case of where Medicare deliberately pushed someone who was shit. It's just that when you're going to go ahead and build up a network, which Medicare clearly was with the blood sports thing, and he can deny that if he likes. I really don't give a shit. It's evident by the fact that he advertised all the channels. He went on a lot of them. He promoted them. The fact of the matter is, he should have at least just looked into these people and seen what they're up to. Because it doesn't really solve the problem of skeptics when all you're doing is just picking and choosing who's going to win on these outcomes. And also, and on which, then again, on the other hand, you could argue that maybe Matt Medicare was correct in this because picking people are shit and eventually destroy themselves or whatever. But regardless of that tangent, back to Worski. I don't like this current attitude that's going on with this, particularly in these streams. And yeah, Jen Silverstein mentioned in chat, yeah, he pushed Ralph. Yeah, it's true, he did. He also helped play up Milo. He allowed Milo on his show, and he introduced Milo to a lot of people. You know, the guy who said that, the guy who would later go on to say, the guy who pushed all the Gamergate shit and pushed the stupid pedophilia shit later on. The guy who went ahead and scammed people with that stupid privilege grant scheme. And Jim is always right. No, respectfully disagree. Sorry, sometimes he's just wrong. Like, he's not always right. That's the thing. He's generally right. He gets a lot of things done right. And I'm probably being overly harsh with him, to be honest, because, I don't know, I just expect better of him. Because he's generally does the right thing. But always being right? No, that's a fairy tale. No one is always right. Everyone gets things wrong every once in a while. So, yeah, I think that Worski and Tonka, two of his mistakes. Like, I don't think there's a way of getting around that. And I don't think Jim would acknowledge that. I really don't. But regardless, let's get back to the stream a bit. Also, I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing because it kind of goes on like this for a while. But I think there's some bits in here we can go over.
Zach is in the chat. We've made money with only 60 viewers. We've made like $900 to $1,000 with only 60 people watching. He doesn't care about that. And it's not about the money. He just doesn't care. Cog's whole thing is he's all about a show. But the biggest thing
bills, obviously.
Well, he pays the bills, but I mean, same thing. This pays your bills. I mean, this is his job. This is your
G 350, 100%. I'm not gonna be a fucking dick about it. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So yeah, someone saying who messaged me saying they're lied because they know SoCal was paid. Don't take the bait. I won't take the bait. Thank you, buddy, who texted me. No, I know I paid him. Okay, like SoCal, I will reveal everything that I paid SoCal. Okay, so that's the end of that. And it saddens me. Like AG's been very supportive. Mm-hmm. SoCal sort of fucking flipped on me, but AG's been really cool. I like AG a lot, and me and him have buried the hatchet on our.
This is another thing I've noticed about Andy that he's been doing lately. He's been this is kind of a new behavior for him. I haven't really seen him do this much before. Maybe he can correct me on this one, but it seems to me that Andy is now looking at things actively in a confrontational manner when it's kind of just when he's the one that just needs to own up to his stupid shit that he's done. And the way he does it is he says, oh, these people are on my side and these other people are on their side. And I'm grateful this guy's on my side. And I wish this guy were back on my side. Maybe I can win people over like this. This kind of rhetoric reminds me of Ross. Yeah, the autistic pedophile guy, the one that Jim exposed, the one who threatened to shoot up a school. That guy. Because he said the same thing. And it's really stupid to be thinking in terms like that when you're the one who, like, just in general, the default is it's stupid to be thinking in terms like that when all you are is an entertainer, like, at fucking best, which Andy isn't even an entertainer because he's not entertaining. At best, you're just some content creator on the internet. That's it. So, this autistic shit of, oh, this guy's on my side, that guy's on my side. No, like, this is dumb. Like, the fact of the matter is, Andy has done stupid shit over and over again, and Andy needs to say, just honestly, I don't even think Andy needs to say anything. What Andy needs to do is get off the goddamn internet. Like, you can say maybe in the future when he's shown himself to be a better human being, he can, come back. But honestly, or I should rephrase that because Andy's going to do whatever Andy wants to do. But whether it be a good idea for him to come back to the internet, perhaps not. Like, honestly, I don't know if the guy can handle it just on a day-to-day basis. And I think, well, honestly, I'd rather get more into that than the stream here, because unfortunately, the stream from here, like, actually, yeah, we're just gonna go on to that because honestly, this stream kind of just devolves into details of minutia that it gets into things like, oh, who paid who for what, and I don't think that really matters as much as other bits. There was a thing, though. There was a clip that I wanted to play. I'm going to get that up real quick. I'll just put this banner up. Give me a moment. Meantime, I'll try to read the chat. Let's just see for a second. All right. Actually, there is 2 clips I want to play from this stream that the Stream Clips channel has gotten. All right. So let me just get that, and I'll read the chat real quick. Okay. All right. This is the only financial thing that I'm really actively interested in. The other stuff might be is relevant. It does show his character, but it's not as important as this clip, which I'll play soon. Just want to catch up with the chat here. All right, Keith Richardson says, Tim, Subverse should be my trademark. Poll did a video about Twitter banning Carl Benjamin and Tommy Robinson. I'm sure he did. I also heard that Nick Rekieta got banned as well. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care about people being banned from Twitter anymore. It's not a subject I ever care to entertain ever again. Everyone at this point should know Twitter is a shit platform. They won't even allow quotes from Mother Teresa for some reason. And I think it's really retarded. Anyone gives it the time of day. If you really want to get something done about Twitter, stop using it. Seriously, stop being a chump and using it. That's all I have to say. I still use Twitter every now and then because it's fun. But if I get banned, I'm not doing a pity stream because I'm off of the platform. That's fucking gay. I'm tired of these edgelords who say dumb, retarded shit, which all 3 of the people I mentioned, Carl Benjamin, Tommy Robinson, and Nick Rekieta, have said dumb edgelord shit, which, in some places will get you banned. Now, is it fair? Especially in this context? No, it isn't fair. I agree. But the reality is you can't change that. There is nothing anyone can do to change that. And until that changes, there's no point in talking about it. Instead, what you should do is, get off your duff and do something about it other than bitching about Twitter. Build an alternative, support an alternative that already exists. Hell, I think Minds is retarded. I think Gab is retarded. But you know what? If you're using those platforms, and they're retarded mostly because of the people that associate there. Minds because the skeptics have taken over, and Gab because the alt-right has taken over. But you know what? If you're supporting those platforms, at the very least, you're not bitching about the latest banning and suspension about Twitter. It's the most boring, tired topic, and I'm sick to death of hearing about it. And I'm not endorsing Minds or Gab as using them because the community's there, but it is at least a step up from saying, well, I'm gonna complain about Twitter, and I'm gonna keep on making new accounts after being banned 12 million times, and this is a really big free speech issue, guys. We gotta rally the troops together, guys. Let's have another session before Congress, guys. Look, Ted Cruz, he said some things about it. It's so boring. Ugh. All right. Richardson says, "LOL, Change UK has more traction than Brexit Party or UKIP." Okay, I will be covering that later because Carl's been in the news a lot, and that's funny. He's been saying a lot of dumb shit lately, and he's been doubling down on a lot of dumb shit as well. How is this Canadian allowed to stay in the U.S.? Don't travel visas expire? Yeah, they do. I don't know. I guess maybe if the DA looks over the footage and he finds Worski guilty of something, maybe his legal status will change. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, Worski can legally stay here. And Rekieta Lowell will be whining about Twitter. He's already been whining about it. Again, it's just e-celebs being e-celebs. It's predictable behavior that you can expect from them. It's like I don't really have anything more to add about the Twitter stuff than that. I hope I never have to talk about it again, frankly. All right, so let's see. Let's go to the Indiegogo. Let's play that.
Actually, I want to say, I'm not sure how many people you have watching right now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There is something I do want to talk about that it's been on my mind that I think is important for me to announce now. So basically, the Indiegogo with Warsky and Ralph hasn't come to me yet. Someone had took it out.
It takes like 15 days for that to come. That's what I've heard.
And it's been 3 weeks or a month. So I'm like, what the fuck? But because of the footage that we got, which is very minimal, because there was a lot of hullabaloo there, because the footage that's extra that other people filmed that I already lost money on it. That's fine. I am going to go into the Indiegogo and just click the fucking refund button.
So you got to
all
refund
that money, which is $3,600, not $4,100.
Okay.
Someone took out money. I'm done with it.
Okay.
No one has if even if there was fucking footage, which I wanted there to be, I would be the one who had to fucking do everything. I was the one who has to hire the people. I was the one who, and you know what? Because we weren't doing what should have been done. This is a learning experience for me. I've been already stewing on this for the last few days, and I don't want that fucking money.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're going to refund the money to the people who gave you guys money, all of them. Yeah.
All of it. I'm gonna hit the cancel. I'm gonna phone Indiegogo. I want everything that was donated.
Now look. Now look, give me a second, bro. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna get you on this. Now, if that money don't get refunded, now if you want to make YouTube your thing, you got to make sure that money gets refunded because it's on my channel. And all these people in here, if you know, they're gonna let.
No. I swear on my mom's life. I swear on my mom's life. I swear on my father's life. I swear on everyone. Believe me, this is the one.
All right, I'm gonna speed this up. Let's go by 1.5 speed. All right.
I'm gonna take your word for it, and I'm gonna look like a jackass.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I would never say what I'm saying right now, and then not do it because I know it would. It's like taking a shovel and burying myself even deeper than I already am.
Now, those guys are supposed to get paid. Did they get paid for doing their work?
I paid SoCal Chris, AG Luck, not yet, but I'm gonna be fully honest with those guys. When I have the money coming in from YouTube to pay AG, I'm gonna fucking finish that up because that was from the month before. SoCal was 100% paid. And I paid for his flights, food,
so if we ask
Uber,
SoCal,
all that bullshit.
So if we ask SoCal, he'll answer that, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, he bet.
Okay. I'm not going to play the rest of this because it's just going to be rambling. From what I remember, it's just rambling on about specifics of who owes who pays who, and it's just boring. But some things but from what I hear from this here, we can tell two things. Firstly, a question that comes to mind: if Andy couldn't make bail for Alex, how is he going to refund the money that he got from the Indiegogo, especially after he says he paid a bunch of people off, and yet at the same time still owes people money by his own admission here? And secondly, and yeah, the specifics about that, other people can go into that. It's minutia. Like, the fact of the matter is, he can't even pay his debts for the cost of the project that was a failure, and he's already talking about giving refunds when he's in no position to do so. And the other thing is, he thinks that this is a... Second point would be, Andy thinks that refunding the money would make the Indiegogo, the black mark against him for that, go away. No, it doesn't. It absolutely does not make that go away. The fact of the matter is, he did it. He ripped off his audience, and he exploited them, and that's not going to make up for it. Because, there's nothing stopping him from just doing this all over again. Like, there's nothing stopping him from going against what he just said. There's nothing binding him, and there's no reason to trust him on anything at this point. He'll lie, manipulate, and exploit everyone around him for personal gain. So I don't like. Again, it's a stupid idea that saying "sowie" and putting the thing and just trying to use glue to stick things back together in a very haphazardly poor manner, that'll solve things. It's this 5-year-old logic that Andy is operating under, and it's just pathetic. And the other thing is, again, I really don't like this guy whose avatar is on screen right now. I do not like him one bit. He's saying right here that, oh, well, he's doing this big tough guy act. Well, the people watching here, it's on my stream. They're going to come out. Like, dude, you're not relevant. You're not fucking relevant. You never will be relevant. The only reason you did this stream, it wasn't so that way you can, make sure Andy gets amends. It's because of all the Streamlabs super bucks you get. All $5 of them. Because you were constantly shilling this out your Streamlabs during as the stream was going, hoping that you would gain relevancy and people would just throw money at you so you could live the neat life and not have to get a real job. So we can be another one of these e-grifters that you're just sucking up to right now. So yeah, this guy could have been the hero easily. All he had to do was just stick to his guns, but instead he wants to network, suck dick, and get ahead that way. It's the same song and dance over and over again. They can't do, because that's one thing you can say about Jim. That's honestly, since I talk some shit and honestly, sometimes I think I talk way too much shit about him. But the positive thing about Jim, one of his strongest points is that he never did the net. Yeah, he did build his own network when the time was right. He did do that, but he didn't build himself up. He didn't build his content or his personality or whatever makes him appealing. He didn't build that fame off of sucking other people's cocks. He just said what he wanted. He was just a guy who said what he wanted to say. He gave his opinions, his takes on things. He put together some funny clips and videos. Maybe said some funny, made some funny blog posts, trolled a few people here and there, etc. That's how he built his audience. It was his content, his work, the effort he put into his material that boosted him up to the top. Not this network faggotry where people get ahead based on the connections they have as opposed to their actual merit. That is something highly respectful you could say of Jim, that a lot of these guys don't follow. A lot of these guys want to take shortcuts. They want to do the network thing. They want to hop in bed with whatever YouTuber comes their path, even if they're a slimy piece of shit. And then they owe that person, so they got to defend him because he helped me out. That's the case with Memology and Ralph. And it's a case for a lot of these people. The whole skeptic community is built on that. It's built on friends helping friends, even when they're wrong, even when they've done things that are absolutely disastrous and terrible. And it's disgusting. It really is. And this guy is a part of the problem. And the problem keeps happening because this, I don't know what the right word for it is, but I'm going to use one that's, I really rather not. This community, quote unquote, it attracts more people like this. And it's essentially, I guess it's like you could call it pretender syndrome. I guess it's related to things like being an e-grifter or pretender syndrome and other terms like that. But I'm not sure exactly what to call this other than network faggotry. It's like its own kind of symptom of a problem. And again, I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. The only thing I could really think of is that when faggots like these start to rear their ugly heads, bully them. And make sure they keep the fuck away. Because he's like, that's all I can really say. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the guy will see that he's being a massive faggot and change, but I doubt it. And even if he does, what has he done? Absolutely shack all nothing. So, yeah, he should be bullied off the internet. Fuck him too. Alright. So, there's one more clip. Let me get that real quick. Give me a second. Alright, so this one here is worth playing, I think. And let's go to it.
Hey, Cog, what's up, man?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Good.
Okay. Hold up.
So, are you trying to cultivate a brand new audience then, and just leave the old one behind?
No.
Right.
What the hell?
Are you just? I'm just.
Why,
it's just
why did he leave? Why did he leave?
Well, I have no idea. He'll be back in a second. He has issues with his Hangouts sometimes. He may not be able to hear me. That sometimes happens when I jump in.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. We're still going to his chat until he jumps back in. So yeah.
No, I'm trying to answer your question. Well, the IRL stuff, I'm doing it again to experience something different. and to like you understand, Cog. Back in Canada, my brain was I was getting it imbalanced, and I feel happier now. Now that's why I want to make the edited content again, and why I want to start Volition Radio and do that like live streaming stuff again for the people. I'm not trying to abandon anyone. To be honest with you, I was in a dangerous spot mentally in Canada, and if I didn't do what I did, you wouldn't. There would be no Andy.
No,
you know
I get that. The point I'm making is if you're not trying to cultivate a new audience, then it's like are you trying to get your audience that you already have then used to the new content and they either like it or lump it? Because there's a lot of people just find it boring.
That's why I'm going to be doing back to edited content because I've been missing it a lot for Warski, doing the travel vlog stuff on a different channel, and then Purple Dragon. If I have Purple Dragon, and I'm going to do the vlog channel on a separate channel, so I can go back to shit I've been yearning to do again on Warski, which is more of like the talking about certain things and also doing the more documentary type style stuff, right?
I
had to be mentally stable before I started that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're going to be premiering, I'm guessing, these videos. I don't think you're just going to be uploading them. They'll be premiering.
No, I think I'm going to upload the Warski stuff. I'm going to upload them. Yeah, no, I'm going to.
So if you upload your income from your actual edited videos, which I know takes time, I've done this myself too. You know this, and that's going to take you a long time a day, I reckon, to edit. And then after your editing's gone up, you're going to you're hoping to gain those views back that you have lost. You have lost a lot of viewership.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just hoping to post content that I want to post on Warski. Whether but I'll agree with you on that statement. If I can regain like people who may have lost interest and they're back, it's obviously a positive. That's cool. I do hope that happens.
You have the potential of 250,000 subs. You have that potential.
And you know what's funny? I now that you mentioned that, it's like one of my older videos I did last year just got like 500,000 views. It just went boom, like fucking blew up. And I'm like, and people were DMing me like, we miss when you would do an edited video about something, and you would like the people have been asking me. There's a lot of stories that have come out that I'm like, oh, I would love to do a take on this.
Okay. Once again, it's not really that much of a point playing much more of this since they just go back and forth on this. Personally, I think Cog asked some of the wrong questions. Like during this was going on, I was like telling Cog in the chat, you got to go ahead and ask him about the mental health thing, which he does later on his own stream to his credit. I was even one of the people who DM'd Cog about that, saying to ask him about that shit. And here, though, there is also another point of criticism that I think Cog missed here, which is that Andy's making threats again. Like JF said, I'll do this, I'll do that. I'm going to make edited videos and edited streams, and they'll be great. They'll be fantastic. Sorry, edited videos, not edited streams. Which, again, it's another case of things are going bad for Andy. Andy says he's going to do more content that he never, ever delivers on. That's kind of Andy's thing. Like, he keeps failing to live up to what he says he's going to do time and time again. And, yeah, there's things that people promise that they never deliver on, that they make this big talk and then, things go sour or things change or whatever. Yeah, I get that. But with Andy, it's always a pattern. It's a pattern of he gets himself in controversy, he's got to cover for himself. And how does he cover for himself? I'm making a new video game. I'm suing Jared Taylor. I'm suing. No, I'm sorry. Not Jared Taylor. Jared Holt. I just got my Jareds confused there for a second. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be this big gaming streamer. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work with all these other kinds of lofty ideas that he's had. Like, I think his latest one says he's going to tell his real life stories. Yeah. I'll be such heartwarming tales about, like, did you know he was raped twice? Yeah. That's going to be quite a keeper right there. Love to hear about childhood molestation. Like, this is how I got my stutter story. That would be great. And all kinds of other shit. The whole thing that this guy is doing is he's not sorry for any of the stuff he's done. He's not sorry like he said. He's just making excuses. He's only sorry he got caught. And speaking of more excuses, let's finally get to this bit, because I think this is the most... Honestly, I think this is the shittiest part, because let's listen to this.
Do I have mental issues? Absolutely. Okay? And what it actually comes down to, now I have to get an EKG. And this is where my spastic fucking attack this morning of just like, fuck this, I'm doing a show, I don't give a shit anymore, you can eat a dick, scorched earth, motherfucker, was because yesterday I was trying to reach out to Cog, trying to be a cool dude. Hey man, yeah, let's talk. And I went candid. I went, here's some problems I have, some mental, here's the twisted mind of Andy Worski, right? Which, meanwhile, I love when three dudes continuously try to bukkake me while I'm on the show, when I actually try to bury the hatchet with a cognitive thought. Okay, so I fucking said I was going to see a psychiatrist today, which was supposed to be all set in stone. But upon speaking to the psychiatrist, apparently I need something called an EKG.
Yeah, that is an excellent point, Carlos, in the chat. He means everyone. Yeah, everyone has been shitting on Worski for this. It wasn't just Cog and a few people. That's another thing E-celebs like to do. Whenever there is massive backlash against them, or any backlash whatsoever, they say that there's only like as little people as possible actually amplifying the backlash. There's only like one person or two people or this tiny group of people, just a tiny minority. It's not that great of a backlash, guys. It's just a little bit. I'm looking good, huh? It's one of the tricks they pull. Also, here Worski talks about how he went in all candid. I like the implication there, implying that usually, or generally speaking, Worski is not an honest person. He's not authentic. He's not this honest guy who likes to give his opinions. No, he's some guy who puts on a show and an act to make himself look good. He's such a hot shot, got his hair dyed, going about doing the in real life streaming thing. It's going places, man. Going places.
I got referred to a specialist to get an EKG. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not, there's no involved. It's 100% EKG. EKG essentially because I have severe ADHD. Okay? Like fucking I got fucking if life were an RPG, I'd be level 99 ADHD. And I need an elixir, which is probably gonna be like Adderall or something. I need a stimulant.
Okay, look at this again. Andy wants to take another shortcut. He's looking forward to taking drugs to solve his problem. Now, if a psychiatrist legitimately prescribes him some kind of medication, this is something I have to disagree with Silverstein with. He says Silverstein says he saw a psychiatrist. Here, go buy this useless product. It will make the pain go away. Just pay your shekels for. Yes and no. I'm not gonna say that all psychiatry and all therapy ever is completely useless. Andy, for instance, does have a mental problem and he does need help for that. It could be that a drug might help his problem. I don't know, but he's looking at this as a quick fix, something that will change his mood and how he feels about things on a emotional level, and that will be the end of it. That'll just solve the problem with a magic wave of taking a little potion, little up or down pill, depending on the situation. And as someone said in the chat, going off his drug habits, he's going to end up down some rabbit hole video about how he's a lolcow. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think Andy should be looking forward to taking more medications, especially since it's the same guy. And I should have this clip on hand because honestly, this is one of the most appalling things he's done. He stole medication from his sister, to get high. So no, this his attitude towards this that, oh, I'm gonna go to the psychiatrist, gonna give you some pills, some Adderall, and that's gonna fix the problem. No, Andy, that's the wrong attitude, and it just shows me that you're not taking this mental health thing seriously. I don't know whether now. Here's the thing: when I say he's obviously retarded and stuff like that, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't give that diagnosis. That's just my opinion based on my understanding of Worski's behavior. He probably does have mental health issues. I'll say that. But it could also be he's faking it. It's very well possible that none of this is real. It's all an act. And he's just pushing this bullshit to go ahead and save face. Is that a likely possibility? No. But what I do think is likely is that but what is the case, and what's definitely happening, is he is using this mental health thing as a shield from criticism. And the thing is, he didn't have to wait a year or 2 years or however long he's been having these public outbursts and displays that are autistic as fuck to go seek mental health treatment. Why did he wait until after he hit rock bottom to see anyone? He's like that celebrity that does coke and then goes to rehab and then ends up going back to rehab like a non-apology tour. That sort of shit. That's what Andy's doing right here, right now. Except for one difference. Andy is not a celebrity. He has always been a Z-lister. He's been a nobody his entire life and will remain such. He cannot even get on Joe Rogan. That is how low and pathetic he is. He can't even do that. And even Sargon's gotten on Joe Rogan. So what's Andy's excuse? He's a loser. That's all he is.
Need something. I don't know. I'm going to talk to the psychiatrist on Monday because I got the EKG for Monday. Essentially, what EKG does is they test out your heart and stuff. Since I'm going to take a stimulant, which I know you're like, but you have high energy already. Apparently, the way ADHD works is, and this is why I drink Monster Energy drinks like a motherfucker, is because the stimulant actually puts me on a level on par with my already fucking stimulant behavior, which levels me out. It's fucking, I don't know. You'd think I'd want like a downer or something, but we've all seen drunk Andy, and downers don't work hard. Gay pride hairski, statue bear. Andy Worski, suicide stream when? Maybe soon. Meth. Gigi Allen says I should take some meth.
Why not, Andy? You already take coke. Like, I wouldn't be making these braggadocious, jovial statements about stimulants and downers if I was you. You're like you have a serious problem when it comes to drugs. It's not a light thing. You've been on occasion. You've been taking 3 different types of drugs at once, dude. You need to understand. Like, it's not just how you like what Carl says in chat. Andy still hasn't made the connection between how he feels and what he does. That's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. He doesn't understand his actions have repercussions. He needs to get that part in. He needs to understand that, like honestly, this is what makes me think that he's more malicious than he lets on. That he's aware of what he's doing. That he's aware he's a piece of shit, but he's not doing active steps to change the behavior at all. He's not correcting himself. He's not doing anything to sincerely reform his ways. He wants the easy way out, and he wants shortcuts. He wants money. He wants e-fame. He wants to he wants to be like, he doesn't aspire to be anything great. You know what he aspires to be? He aspires to be Boogie. Boogie is the successful version of him. Granted, a much fatter, pudgier, toothless version of him, but nonetheless, a more successful version of what he's trying to do. What Boogie does is he plays a sympathy card like nobody's business. And people are dumb enough to this day to buy into Boogie's sympathy card. Oh no, I've been in like 8 different divorces, failed relationships. I've had a divorce because I kept on talking shit about my personal life too much on the internet. I need health care because I need you to pay for it. Like all this other dumb shit. The guy is a degenerate. The guy does not take care of himself. And yet people will buy into it because Boogie can play out the sympathy. Poor me, my poor life. Oh no. And then he does a thing where, I'm not as stupid as I portray myself as because I'm actually really smart. I just do these things on purpose. It's just, like, seriously, Boogie is one of those people that, like, I try not to hate anyone, but Boogie is contemptible. He really is. He's someone who should just die of a heart attack, to be frank. Like, that guy has gotten away with bloody murder his entire career. Like, seriously. I don't know if that'll ever change, to be honest. I don't, because people are just so gullible, they'll buy into it. They'll just eat that horse shit, and they'll like the taste of it. It's the clown world, man. You've been in clown world for a long time.
You have manic depression and bipolar disorder. It's not bipolar. I'm going to probably ask if it's bipolar.
Yeah, I just want to address this real quick. Yeah, I forgot to turn the playback on for the stream. Next stream and all future streams will have playback.
Maybe I am bipolar. Maybe my psychotic behavior is some sort of bipolar. I don't know. I'm not mentally ill, someone says. Fair enough. And Fox Anderson said, "You've come undone, Andy. Put the alcohol down." Sure.
Fox Anderson. Down my throat.
Okay, all right. Remember how I just said, Andy has a drug problem. What does he go and fucking do? He goes ahead and he drinks some alcohol. And he just said previously, hey guys, you've seen what happens when I'm drunk. The guy is just like, Andy, stop. Never again, Andy. Like, again, I hope in some way, I hope someone sends this to Andy. Because, Andy, if there's one thing that I want you to get from this tonight, if there's just one thing, because, there's a multitude of things that need to go through your thick cranium, which I think is impenetrable, that even if I was to take a drill to it, it still wouldn't crack. If there is one thing you can take, never ever tell me that you are smart, intelligent, in any way whatsoever, ever again, because you're clearly not. Not in the least.
ADHD. Now, how do I know I've been basically people who've had ADHD. Also, when this is like a few months ago when there was the police incident where I was swatted. They had watched some of my stuff, and I was asked if I have ADHD or if I had been, I've seen a doctor about, my excessive fucking behavior. That's the word I'll use to describe it. It's not even a word, it's a sound. That's where my brain goes sometimes. And yeah, there are many times that I get ideas or whatever that it's not focused. When you're doing a brainstorm thing and you make a circle and you write, like, let's say you're in elementary school and you do a brainstorm thing and you got this circle, and in the middle of the circle, you're doing a project on trees.
Okay, I thought that was a fuck up on my end. Apparently, Stream Clips played up the audio at this point, so fair enough.
Right? And then you put the line from the circle in the middle, and you go maple tree, pine tree, all the right. Usually, when you're done the brainstorm, you choose one idea to focus. How my brain works is I look at all of them, I go, let's do it all, which causes problems sometimes. Schizophrenia? No, it's not schizophrenia. I wish that I did have schizophrenia, because then it'd be like I'd always have someone to hang out with, It'd be like, oh, I'm bored right now. What's going on, man? How you doing? No, it's not that. There's not that.
Oh, yeah, just like talking about the various mental health issues he's having, making a big joke of it. Oh, guys, don't make fun of me. I have mental health issues. Hey, guys, I might have ADHD. I might be bipolar. I might be a schizophrenic, or I'm probably not a schizophrenic, but if I were a schizophrenic, it'd be pretty cool. Eat shit and die, you faggot. Honestly, I think you get the point here. And you know what? I'm not going to play the rest of this because, honestly, there's only so much of Andy I can take at this moment. Like, it's just frustrating to deal with this guy. And honestly, this guy does not get enough shit. He's been getting a lot of shit lately, but it's not enough. When will it be enough? As things stand right now, as far as I'm concerned, given that Andy has no real method of truly examining himself and seeing what he did that was wrong, or really thinking really, really, really hard about his actions. He only does he only simulates that persona. He only presents that idea to people, and he tries to pass it off, and that's how he's been getting by so far. Given that's the reality, I think it should stop once he deletes his channel. I think that what Andy Worski deserves is he deserves to go away the way of Kraut. He should delete his channel and pack his bags and get off YouTube forever and get a real fucking job. Like, that's what Andy needs. Andy's a failed stand-up comedian. He's a failed filmmaker. He's a failed YouTuber. He's a failed streamer. He's not successful in any of these things, and I think he would be highly successful paying for his psychiatry bills, which I'm presuming that he's going to not do, because whenever he threatens something, he doesn't do it because he's an idiot. But let's just say that in this magical world, Andy does the right thing. he should pay those psychiatry bills, not with your money. No more of these super chats, no more of these Patreon bucks, none of that. He doesn't deserve any of that. If you want to go ahead and throw your money into the furnace, well, actually, don't do that, because you know what? It's gonna promote more shitty content creators, which affects the overall quality of videos on YouTube. So, you know what? I'm gonna say that don't do that, because I'm gonna have more dumb videos to watch if you support this guy. Instead, get this motherfucker off the internet. Like, that's what he deserves. He doesn't deserve people coddling him and telling him what a great guy he is. And he doesn't deserve, and frankly, he doesn't, and for that matter, on the other side of that coin, he doesn't deserve people like Geek Thulu who are only fucking with him. Like, seriously, the guy, him being here is bad for him as much as it is for anyone else. So, yeah, he shouldn't be online. And the longer he stays online, the more he's going to start acting like Boogie. The more he's going to, no, let me rephrase that. The more he's going to continue acting like guys like Boogie and DSP. Those are the two people that he is aspiring to become. Like, somewhere between those two guys. Alright, so I'm going to read a couple more comments. Maybe talk about a few more things. I'm going to wrap things up because, man, sometimes talk about these guys is really funny for me because I legitimately laugh at the retardation. Other times, it's just really frustrating because it's just people don't seem to learn. What tends to happen is, I think that, to paraphrase what someone else said once upon a time, the only way that people tend to learn about, how these cult leaders operate, the only way that they actually change their ways, is after they've been stabbed in the back about 3 or 4 dozen times. Only then do they realize, gee, maybe the guys I've been following, maybe the guys I looked up to, maybe they're part of the problem. Maybe for all the talk about my SJWs, my feminists, my Muslims, my Jews, my white genociders, or whatever enemy they oppose, it doesn't really matter. Maybe the guy selling me this stuff, maybe the guy telling me things that may or may not be true, maybe it's a combination thereof, whatever. Maybe they're not as noble as they present themselves to be. Maybe they don't actually care to solve any of these things. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to read a few more comments. Maybe talk about some other stuff because I need a refresher after going through so much autism with Andy. Great stream tonight, my dude. Love your videos. Thank you. Shuri Satoshi says one job. I think it's in reference to the fact that the playback has not been enabled tonight, unfortunately, which, yeah, I deserve that, if that's directed at that. Okay. Yeah, it's boring stuff. I was talking about the part sped up. Yeah, I have to agree. It was pretty boring what he was saying. But yeah, he repeats himself. He should just stop streaming, get someone competent to help him make edited videos, but otherwise, he should stop. He keeps embarrassing himself and wondering why he feels bad. Honestly, if Andy at some future point after he takes a Kraut-long break at the very least, because I think that he deserves the same fate as Kraut at the end of the day, if Rage After Storm, possibly, would it be blasphemous to say Saint Rage After Storm at this point? Probably. After she got bullied off the internet and was made a martyr, I think that everyone who participated in that should get the same treatment just because it's fitting. It's like poetry. It rhymes. All right, but seriously though, what does he say? He should stop streaming, get someone competent to help him make edited videos, but otherwise he just stop. He keeps embarrassing himself and wondering why he feels bad. Yeah, it sums it up. I agree with that. That last sentence at least. All right, and Justin Justin says, do you think it would benefit the right wing if we attack degenerates in our movement more, or actually start the pressure on the left? I'm not sure how to answer this question because I'm of the opinion that movements are retarded at this point, which, or at least generally speaking, they are. I don't know if there's any movements I'll ever support again. I'm not saying that as some dumb blackpilling, everything is pointless, everything is terrible and you shouldn't pay attention to anything ever. I'm saying that as someone who thinks that like we should just wait until everything. Well, actually, what I'm about to say is pretty much that, but there's a hopeful spot at the end. So just listen. I think that the only real course of action we have right now is like we're not going to see any kind of reform with the current system. That as much is clear. Like the right wing in any sense, I don't care what your specifics of that are. If you're reactionary of any type or a conservative for that matter at this point, what used to be called a conservative, nowadays conservatives are too busy defending my free speech, my base gays, and other dumb shit like that. So fuck them. But seriously though, I think politics is screwed. I think Trump has shown that you can't trust the right or the left or any combination thereof, and that all leaders in this day and age are going to be corrupt, at least all leaders in power. So what are you going to do? Well, the only thing I think you can do right now is to preserve communities from the end of everything, which there's the only thing that I can think of successfully working is if there's inevitable collapse of society and people bunker down, shelter down, and wait for the dust to settle and blow over, and then rise up from the ashes and say, see, we were right, and then rebuild society in this new image. That's just a pet theory of mine that I've had. I've told several other people before, but I don't know. Maybe it's kind of maybe it's not a holistic kind of picture. Maybe it is too black-pilled. If you disagree, go ahead, voice it. But as far as what does it benefit the right or the quote-unquote right wing if we attack degenerates? Yeah, it does, because degeneracy is really the heart of the issue. Like, for example, I'm not really on board with the ethno-state. I don't believe in this white nationalist thing. I don't believe there's anything significantly special about the white race. You can feel free to disagree with that if you will. But if you believe in those things, if you think that white is right, then stop. What needs to happen is young men need to stop masturbating to tranny dick girl porn and start getting wives and having children. Because the reason why you're being replaced by Mexicans and other groups that are coming into the country is because you're not producing kids. You're not having a girlfriend. You're not having families. And degeneracy only keeps you in that mind frame. It keeps you in the mind frame of and it's not necessarily just directed at white men or whatever. It affects the entire society. I mean, blacks are being become lower and lower segment of the population as well as time goes on. Reality is, the way that the left works and operates is they tell you that basic natural things that are good, like having children, having a family, having a wife, having a woman, that's bad. You should just seek only the hedonistic pleasures that sexual gratification or other earthly things provide, and essentially be a hedonist. And that's how they want you to survive clown world. Hey, everything's going to shit. You may as well entertain yourselves with some porn and some video. And that's how you get liberals. Or that's one way you get liberals, because then the liberals get serious about defending their rights, and then you get these other degenerate things. But the only way to really oppose that is to say, no, we want some fucking standards. We don't want people to be just screwing anything around that has two legs. We're not in favor of in favor of based gays. We're not in favor of trannies. We're not in favor of drag queens. We're not in favor of prostitutes, zoophiliacs, pedophiles, fornicators, etc. Like, all this shit is trash. Traditional family model works, and living up to traditional Christian values, particularly those that were rooted in Catholic dogma, that's what tends to work. And I think that history has shown that. And I think that this also opens up a broader discussion that may or may not happen on this channel, to be honest, because most of the time I'm just interested in covering stupid internet shit for the most part. Okay, and final comment from Keith Richardson, although I do have a question for him. Voat is going to shit, FYI. Okay, what's going on with Voat? I'm curious. If you can give me an answer to that, type it in chat before I close the stream down, because last I heard, Voat was kind of dead. It never took off. I kind of used Voat for a bit. I just never gravitated towards it because although it was a free speech alternative, I just don't like Reddit interface. And generally speaking, I guess I never really found a community I really liked there, so I kind of never gravitated towards it. So if you have an update on what's going on with Voat, then let me know. Actually, you know what? If you answer this, do so in a comment because I think I'm going to close the stream down. So usually do a call for if anyone wants to come in to talk. And so far, but usually that just invites Lee Plate Gang, which I'm not done talking about them. I mean, especially not after we found out yesterday that, or not yesterday, the last stream rather, that they're interested in defending base Sticks and Hammer, of all people, which that's kind of weird, isn't it? But anyway, oh wait, okay, so we actually have an update on this. The Voat thing. Apparently this is on Slashdot, the source, which was linked by Keith Richardson. Actually, wait, I can screen share this. Give me a moment. Give me a sec. All right. Let's get that up there.
Hey, Cog, what's up, man?
Nope, that's not it. Give me a second. I will figure out how to... okay. After I stop being a boomer, let's get this up. All right, perfect. What's wrong with Sticks? Sticks... several things are wrong with Sticks. He's a Satanist, first and foremost. Reformed, quote-unquote, Satanist, I'm sure. That's the first issue. Second issue is Sticks connected with the Plate Gang? I don't see any evidence that he's connected to them. I just see evidence that, for whatever reason, the Plate Gang has interest in people not talking shit about him for one reason or another. But as far as what's wrong with Sticks proper, Sticks is a Satanist. He's also in favor of he also, during the Medicare and Sargon dispute, decided to play Lee neutral guy, which shows me that he's more interested in network faggotry than anything else. He also a classical, one of these quote-unquote classical liberal types who was on Sargon's side during the Richard Spencer debate. He likes to play the card of, oh, I'm a neutral moderate, when he's really just another liberal. He also, and he's just another e-grifter. Oh, and also, of course, he plays a sympathy card. He does that to try to milk as many shekels as he can from his audience and try to get milk as much money as possible, based on his own fucked up life that's due to, like, probably includes a lot of drugs and fornication. So yeah, I don't like Sticks one bit. I don't like his views. I don't like the way he conducts himself as a YouTuber, and I think that he's generally shit. All right, so let me just share this on screen. This is from Slashdot. This is what Keith Richardson showed me. All right, here we go. And let me zoom in so you can read it. Yeah, that's... let me see. Let's do it again and again. All right, so let me just read this off. The Reddit clone Voat has reportedly been contacted by a U.S. agency about threats being made on the censorship-free website, according to its founder, Justin. I cannot pronounce names for shit. Keep in the future. In the future, here's what you should do. When you have names, like if you have a really complicated last name, just need to rename it something like Smith, or I don't know. You know what? Just name everyone Smith. It's just easier for me to remember. It would solve that problem entirely. All right. According to its founder Justin, I'll try just once more. Chastain. I don't know. Tell me how I should pronounce it in chat. In a post on Wednesday, Smith, who goes by Put It Out on Voat, told users they need to chill out on threats, and as the platform has been officially approached by an unnamed agency over some of its content. Smith said he didn't want to litigate free speech, but the Voat would cooperate with law enforcement and remove gray area posts if asked. Voat users took offense to the perceived curtailing of their ability to post racial slurs and endorse violence. I think, from the sounds of it, to be perfectly honest, all right. Richardson says Chaz Stain. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but if I ever have to read his name again, I'm going to go with that. So what I figure about this post is that, what was it? It's getting late. Yeah, it sounds like bullshit. It really does. That is, in the sense that what the government's doing. I'm sure that Chaz Stain has actually been approached by some government agency over quote unquote threats. And maybe there's actual threats on the platform. Maybe there's actually people saying, I'm going to quote unquote do such and such to this other such and such group, which you can probably connect the dots as to what kind of bikes they're going to gas with those kinds of statements. Maybe there's people actually posting addresses and saying they're going to kill the people who live there. Maybe these stuff is true. However, usually I don't know if it's true or not. I don't regularly use Voat, so it could be fabricated for all I know. So what it sounds like to me is that he was approached by these people, but they're just looking to shut down the site. Because all the sites, all the internet has to be controlled now. We can't have another election where Trump wins. It's that was bad. So we got to make sure that no one has that option ever again. Now, granted, I don't see why they're doing this because, Trump is just another tool in the system and he's a piece of shit. But I guess one of the few benefits in clown world is that even the establishment's at each other's throats. So that's just, and then again, it's not really much of a benefit because getting Trump into office can also be attributed to getting rid of the internet. So, yeah. And Aaron Shadows asks, just tuned in. What is this about? Tonight we talked about Andy and his burgery and how he's also been playing up his burgery for personal gain. His overall honestly, he's just a piece of shit. That's my opinion of him. I think he's a terrible guy. I think he should be ashamed of himself. And yeah, if you want to know more, you can just watch over the video again. In the meantime, it's been great. Next stream I'm going to do either one or two things. Option A, going to talk more about Andy, which hopefully for the next stream will be more focused on just laughing at him because honestly, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate any of these YouTubers. I really don't. I don't really wish harm upon them. When I say need to go the way of this person or the way of that person, it's because I think it's just necessary that happens in order for things to get better. Not that I actually want to see them in pain or whatever. I actually hope that them leaving the internet or whatever actually helps them out. And the other character involved, which I think is which has a lot more material ripe for comedy depending on your perspective, Sargon. Sargon has been in the news. Actually, let me see if I can find something just to close out the stream. I'm gonna find a clip, and I think you guys are gonna like it. And yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about Sargon next stream, and maybe some of Andy, maybe not. Let me just find that clip real quick, and after I get that up for you, I will play it, and that'll be it. So let me get that real quick. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see. I just gotta find out. All right, I know how to get it. Hang on. Aha, here we go. Okay. Let's put this right here. And let's switch screens. All right, just gonna check the chat one final time. All right. So it's the weekend. If you got plans, hope you enjoy them. If you're just gonna hang out and do whatever, hope you enjoy that as well. I like to say next stream is gonna happen soon, but with me, it's I don't know. It's whenever I feel like doing these things. So hope to see you soon, and we'll talk about more super retarded shit on the internet. So have a good night, and Dame will play us out.
I think the age of consent could be raised, but it's just hypothetical. It's an intellectual exercise. You're taking it as if it's a party political broadcast. It's just a thought experiment.
Now, there is a particular video where you gave a platform to a man, a campaigner, I suppose, Amos Yee. In that video, you also say that it would be an injustice for a priest who had a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old to be prosecuted if the 13-year-old didn't feel that anything wrong had happened. You call that an injustice. Now, I would like to ask you why you feel that that would be an injustice.
Honestly, I'd have to go back and watch it, because I'm sure there was a wider context of the discussion. It's possible that there could be a 13-year-old who is not damaged by a relationship with an adult. It's possible. I don't know of any examples of it, and I'm not going to suggest it's a good thing, obviously. It's not something I would promote or anything like that. Like I said, I think the age of consent could be raised, but it's just hypothetical. It's an intellectual exercise. You're taking it as if it's a party political broadcast. It's just a thought experiment.